In this episode, you could win a custom army transport box from the guys over at Customized Gaming, which will be one of these. I believe it's a 10-inch by 6 box, is it?
It's 14 centimeters by 24.
Basically, what you're going to get is the box, unpainted, customized engraving of your choice, and a customized loadout of your choice. So this one's the paint one, but they're done for miniature ones as well. Stay tuned later in the show while we have a look at all the rest of the boxes. This episode is supported by Battlefront.com.
Anime cyberpunk style meets skirmish combat in Infinity. Experience 8 high-tech factions and fight to control the human sphere at the Infinity Hub on beastsofwar.com. Become a general of mighty armies at the Kings of War Hub. Take command of elves, dwarves and orcs in this game of matched fantasy combat on beastsofwar.com.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of The Weekender, where we talk about all things miniatures and tabletop gaming.
And it's the end of another crazy week, so relax a little, guys.
Phew! That was a busy week.
Yeah.
We had a big boot camp at the weekend.
Yep, and then we had the guys that were training everybody at the boot camp actually doing some battle reports and stuff with us, which was absolutely fantastic. We then had Carlos popping into the studio. You'll see him later in the show. And we have a ton of other stuff to talk about.
Yes, and we have a prize as well, which you mentioned right at the very start.
Yeah,
Looking forward to hearing about that. Ben, you were over for the boot camp as well. How did you get on?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty hectic, but it was very, very awesome indeed. It was great to actually see people playing out the new edition of Flames of War, and the desert boards were amazing as well. It was good to get in a bit of easy, open gaming as well on the Sunday as well. So, yeah, very, very good. Yeah.
And right now, there's another sort of live blog going on, coming in from, isn't it from New Zealand itself?
Yeah, so this is going to be a launch blog that's being done by Battlefront in, 3 places actually. So you've got the UK, the US and New Zealand at the same time, and it will be done across the entire of the weekend. They're going to be doing a whole bunch of competition stuff. They're going to be talking about tactics, gaming in 4th edition, a little bit of hobby, and there's also going to be a couple of bits and pieces of history in there as well. So they tend to have pretty good launch weekends where they show off a bunch of stuff. So check them out. Yeah.
So if you thought you were going to starve for Flames of War content this weekend, absolutely not. You can binge away again on another blog.
Well, it's interesting to see sort of a global event that's going live, you know, just going through the time zone. So as one set finishes, the next are picking it up to give you like a full day or more of actual content.
Yeah.
Is it a one-day thing, Ben, or what? Is it like just Saturday or what?
It's crossing over Saturday and Sunday, so it'll starting on Saturday morning for everybody, and then sort of going off into Sunday. But of course, that means that's going to be Saturday morning for New Zealand, so you'll get a little stuff on this sort of tail end of Friday. So watch out, and you'll be okay. So yeah.
Well, as always with boot camps, we had some prizes on the go.
Oh, didn't we just? We had 3. I'm doing like that with 4 fingers. We had 3 mega prizes. Do we have a picture of what was up for grabs?
It's me, of course I have a picture. Here you go. What we had in this set was everything you need to get playing. So you've got the 2 starter sets, right? So Rommel's Africa Corps, Monte's Desert Rats. You've got some idiots in there, 25-pounder field artillery. The main rules, the Desert Rats book, the actual Africa Corps.
We all know, Justin.
Sorry, disengage QVC voice.
Put the people out of their misery. There's at least 3 people want to get their jammies dancing going.
Okay. So, Friday's winner was sercoffee. Congratulations, get your prize claim in. Winner for Saturday, Ben, if you want to pronounce this one, because I ain't doing it.
Yeah, the winner for Saturday was trewets or trewets. I'll get your name into the comments below anyway, so you better see it. So
okay, Justin.
Sunday was lawnor.
Wow, 3 people, extremely happy.
Oh, but I'm not done yet.
Oh, extremely busy. Right, we have more stuff to give away, do we?
We had another competition on the go for the Battlefront Fantasy Football Bag. Now, this is fantastic for any fantasy football game.
Yes, and I won it, didn't I? Because I didn't want to give it away. I think it's amazing.
What does it say, Lloyd, on my sheet here? Ben, can you check the actual running order here? Lloyd has scribbled out the winner. I can't read it.
But I've been behind up all week.
I know.
Who are we giving it to?
We're actually giving it to gazky.
Congratulations, Gaz.
So get your prize claim in. We will get that out in the post to you ASAP.
Yeah. Now, before we get stuck into the show,
yes,
at the boot camp there was a fella over Wayne.
Yes.
Who, like you'll have seen at the start, is offering up a fancy little prize for us this week.
So
You've had the chance to get into the studio and talk to him about what he was making and stuff.
yes, he's doing a full range of sort of army transportation boxes in wood, which is a really, really nice way to actually transport your stuff. I've got his website up here, so if we have a look, this is what we're giving away this week. This is the XL Hobby Box with a custom engraving, so you can get any symbol you want done on it. So if we have a look, you can see he has actually done one for the desert rats here, which I thought was quite nice. So you can get pretty much whatever you want engraved onto that.
And if you click this picture over at the end,
yeah,
this is
this is the loadout you can get. There's a few different ones, and he has said, he'll work with whoever wins to actually pick the loadout for them.
But if we click this picture right on the end, that's the one.
Yeah. So the thing is, it will come unstained, and you can do the work to it afterwards. They're a really charming little piece to actually, carry your forces around in.
Yeah, because I seen them in here, and I was over straight away asking him, okay, so what do I stain it with? He's just basically regular stain.
Yeah.
And do I need to stain it, or do I just? Well, actually, it isn't stain it. He just said varnish it. Don't bother staining it. He just said varnish it, and it'll go that darker color.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, will we see what you guys got up to or had to say about it?
Hi everybody, I've been joined by Wayne from Customized Gaming. Wayne, welcome to the show, mate.
Hi, nice to meet you.
You've brought along a few nice things to show off to people, so can you quickly run down what exactly these are for us?
Yeah, this is a range of storage boxes and books that I've designed that basically you can store miniatures, accessories, card games, etc. They all can be personalised with engravings, names, signs, etc. Just to make it really personal.
Cool. All right, well, let's start grabbing a few and see what you've done on the inside of them, because I love a well-typed pack box, yeah? So we'll start with the big one here. And this one is a test piece you did, yeah?
Yeah, this is the original prototype, so it's not engraved on the top. The actual box, this is my modular box, so you can actually choose what kind of options you want inside.
And you've magnetised these?
These are magnetised, so they'll take some reasonable movement and the such like. And this box, you've got options of different trays, so 50, 40, 30mm circles, for example.
And these all lift out?
All lift out.
And you can just put whatever loadout you want into them?
Any loadout you like.
That's actually really, really strong magnets. Look at that, it's right on its side.
Yeah, no, it's really good stuff. And the other option you got with this box is you can actually do paints in it as well. So I've got sort of GW Citadel type size slots or dropper slots as well. So if you wanted to do your current project and have like one side for minis, one side for paints, you can do that.
That's a really cool idea. And what do you stain the boxes, or do you just do them?
But they come natural, so like these colours here, so you can do any finish you like.
Let me bring one in here. So this is one you did for the Flames of War boot camp for one of your mates, yeah?
This is for Gaz at the boot camp.
Yeah.
So he's got the DAC Force.
Yeah, so it's got that nice Africa core thing on
there's
it.
no dividers or anything like that in it at the moment because Gaz hasn't set it up yet.
But I'm guessing whenever you pick it up, you're selecting what you want for your loadout and building from there.
Exactly, very customizable.
Yeah, so pass me that one, because recently I've been getting into Guild Ball, and this is one that sort of takes an entire team. So if you're going to an event, you've got slots for all your tokens and templates, all your cards, and then in beneath for all your minis. These are actually really nicely painted, man.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm not like John, but yeah, I get by.
Hey, are they done?
They're done, and this box was the original kind of one that started. You can actually have the same setup as well with the longer box, so you can actually take up to an 8-inch measuring stick in that, so you can have your full setup.
Very nice. So this is like just a nice little storage piece to take teams and stuff,
Very
smaller
much
fantasy games.
Yeah, Frostgrave, Saga, whatever.
Yeah, well, you see, if I was playing Saga, I would go for one of the long boxes.
Yep.
Just because I run quite the hefty force, and with us running through the campaign at the minute, it's one thing I find. My force is growing and growing and growing.
So you can go to the XLs or you could go to the custom for that. No problem at all.
Yeah, now you've done a really nice thing here. So you see that green one?
Yes.
This one jumped out at me as soon as I saw it. So we all like nicely stored stuff. So this is one of the book style boxes you can get, right?
Yep.
So it's got this nice bit of a cutting on the side that lets this actually fold. And on the front you've got the really nice Guild Ball engraving for the Hunters team.
So again, you can have that in any kind of engraving you like. This is called a living hinge, so it actually opens perfectly strong. It's amazing stuff.
Yeah, and then, actually, hang on, I'm going to try a thing here. If this goes horribly wrong on camera, I apologise.
No, you can turn that upside down.
Look at that.
If you close that lid on that, you could actually shake it, do what you like. They won't move a single inch. They're locked in mechanically.
Yeah, so I'm guessing if I bring this into shot, to get them out, I assume I have a little slot here that I draw out?
Yeah, you slide that slot out, and then you can slide your minis out under that. So the lip base is sitting underneath.
That's really cleverly done.
So yeah, totally safe. I've come here on a flight from Stansted, and these guys, even the magnetic trays, they've all stood up to the transport across in the plane.
That's really impressive. I love the design of this one. It it feels nice, and if you have like a bookshelf, I mean, like, right, how many people like cool ways to actually keep their stuff safe?
Yeah.
Pop these all onto a bookshelf. Now, I'm assuming you can't engrave the living hinge.
We can't engrave the living hinge. We can engrave the front. It comes plain, so you can then paint it the colour scheme you like yourself. To be honest, I'm no artist. That was literally just spray cans and a bit of masking, and away you go.
Simplest things work best.
Yeah.
That, just set on a shelf, you know, set at an angle so that you can see the fronts of each of them. That's beautiful.
Exactly. Thank you.
So your original finish for this type, I assume, is this?
Yes,
yeah?
So that's how they come with their natural finish.
Right, so this is a deeper one, and it's got the Magic the Gathering symbol on it, so I can guess this is a card gamer's one.
Yeah, this is designed to take sort of 2 command decks, as they call them. So if you do only play large card games, not just Magic, you could actually fit 200 double sleeve cards in there, and then the tray in the middle can take your life counter, dice, tokens, etc.
Yeah, I really, really like the idea for this, and I would use this for more than just like Magic the Gathering, because I wouldn't mind getting like a little Netrunner symbol engraved on there.
Yes,
You know,
perfect for those
very
kind of
nice.
games, yeah.
It's a really, really cool idea, actually, having something like that. It's attractive to set on the table. It's not just like a random little plastic box from the Poundland.
Yeah.
You know, it gives a sense of class to what you're playing.
It does, and it's very personal when you've got your symbol in there, because obviously we all like to have our own factions and the fluff behind them, so we might design our own logos, our own symbols.
Yeah.
It's great.
It also makes it very easy to store and identify your stuff at an event.
Yes.
So if you set it down on a table and, you know, it vanishes, it's just like, well, where'd it go? Ah, there it is on that one.
Exactly.
You know, so if you turn around for like 2 seconds and, you know, your mate picks it up to show to somebody, it's just like, dude, where'd my stuff go? Oh, there it is.
Yeah, highly identifiable.
Yeah. All right, so you've got a few different sizes of this.
Yes.
So,
This is the start. That's a 2-card box.
okay, so if I
So
pop
that one
it open.
hold 2 decks of cards like that.
Ah, so they go the other direction, so they can just plunk straight down in. I like the little divider you have here, because that just means you can get your finger in and actually start
Exactly.
drawing them out.
There's the single card version of that same thing, so just for your, you know, Pokemon deck or whatever it might be.
Oh, no, you see, even for like a plain card deck.
Yes.
I mean, like, there are so many of the companies out there that are doing custom regular decks now.
Yep.
Even having
Malifaux.
something like that. Now, hang on, is that? No, it's not magnetized.
No, that comes with elastic as well, but that was the prototype. So.
Yeah, but it works really, really well. I mean, even just for something that you can slip into your pocket. If you're playing like Flux or something,
Yes.
perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect.
No,
It
glad
just
you
gives
like
you
it.
an easy way, because anytime I've seen a mate playing Flux, the box is beat up to hell. It's destroyed.
Yeah.
Something like that, nice and strong.
Yeah.
This.
That's the accessory box. So if you got like the box here for your Guild Ball team, then this has got all the accessories in. So it's designed to hold your cards, your 3-inch AOEs, your measuring sticks, your dice, that kind of stuff.
Open this up. Ah, so yeah, you can take the full length of those,
Yep.
all your dice, all your templates, all your cards, and
Yep.
this is just little tokens to your status effects and stuff.
Yeah, any extras you got.
Nice, very, very nice. And then this one.
This is hot off the press, so literally
This feels strange. There are holes in the back of this.
there are.
Are there meant to be holes in the back of this?
There are. This is for Star Wars Destiny. So any of you players out there, the elastic band isn't what it will come with. That's just literally because this is hot off the press, just been made and sprayed up to bring today.
So this is for Star Wars Destiny. So all your cards, all your tokens, all your dice.
Yep, the
And
holes
if
will push the dice out, so you can put your finger through to push them out. And there's actually 2 starter sets in there. So there's room for 2 starter sets plus a few boosters in there. I've just put the tokens in there in a little separate piece, but I also do token holders separate as well.
Yeah.
So there's a range.
That's really, really cool. I mean, like. So I'm
Gianna
guessing-
and
Oh yeah,
Dawn
well,
will
Dawn
love
and
that.
Gianna will go nuts for one of
Yeah.
these. I guarantee they'll be right onto your website.
Awesome.
And then the last thing you've done is actually a very clever little thing, which is these. Now, if I draw these into the other camera, so I'll move these out the way.
These aren't on the website yet. Again, these are kind of fresh off the bat here, really. This is basically designed to be a token tray, but you can then use the top of it while you're playing the game as scenery.
Yeah, so if I lay this out like so,
That's it.
you can start doing yourself all little crates and stuff.
Yep, and then there's a card deck holder that goes there as well, and a dice holder. And I'm
Which
currently.
is the other two here. So this one
That's it.
splits out. If I open it up, now it's empty at the minute, but then you've got 2 nice little raised platforms that fit
Yep.
together really nicely.
So your mini can come in and utilise the scenery, and then when you finish playing the game, put your stuff away.
Yeah, and
Away
your
you go.
scenery actually becomes your carrying system.
Yep.
It's really clever. And then you have this last one, which I really like the idea of, because it's essentially 2 crates, but it's giving you a dice box as well that gives you 2 more bits of scenery.
Yeah. When you combine them all up, there's a lot of scenery there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, like, I could see myself using this for so many different games.
Yep.
For my games of Saga, for my games of, like, Guild Ball.
Yep, Malifaux,
Frostgrave, the works.
Yep.
So it's a really, really cool idea, a really cool system that you came up with, and it all feels really quality.
I'm glad you like it. We're also working on a box at the moment that's a 40-foot container that will hold up to sort of 5 minis inside. So you can imagine if you've got a 10-man team, you and an opponent, if you've all got that system, you could have 4 containers,
well, if you're playing something
tokens,
like the Batman
crates.
miniatures game,
Exactly.
you know, and you want to play in the Docklands,
Yep.
you've got something to carry your stuff, and you've got something you can put down on the table and actually use afterwards.
Exactly. You're not carrying separate pieces, and because they're designed to hold the things inside, they're sturdy enough to take the battering on the outside as well.
Yeah. Well, you see, this is the thing that we've always had the question about, is containment of the beast, as we call it, which is your collection is just a monstrous thing that you have to figure out how to collect. This range of stuff is really, really cool. Thank you very much for
thank you for your time. Hope you like it.
And just very quickly, plug yourself. Tell people where to go to actually find this stuff.
You can find this online and on Facebook. It's www.customizedgaming.com.
All right, well, guys, if you've been looking for a way to, transport your army, give you some terrain and stuff that's really cool, check them out. Thank you again for coming in, Wayne.
No worries, Justin. Thank you.
Guys, drop your comments below. What do you think of them? We'll move on. We'll see you in the next one.
Cool stuff. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm sure plenty of people out there will like that. But not only that, he actually did bring some boxes for us.
Yeah, he did.
So I got a box. You got a box.
Yeah,
Show us your box there, Justin.
Let me get my box out for you.
So if I just put them under the camera, here's mine. Actually has my name on it.
Yeah,
Bring
and
over.
the Beast of War logo, which is a really nice touch.
And Justin's.
Yeah.
And I believe Warren got one and John got one.
Yeah.
Ben. Poor Ben.
Oh,
I don't think you got one.
Yeah.
Yet.
It's all right.
But no, I do like these because they're really, really well made. Now, I used to be a joiner, so I know good work would work whenever I see it.
Yeah.
These are really nicely made, so well done there. Inside them, if you actually go through mine when it's open here,
Okay.
so start lifting the bits out. So you've got a nice wee bit of felt that goes into the top here.
Oh, that's what that's for.
Yeah, so you'll glue that down into the top there, and then you can make that into sort of like a little dice rolling thing.
Yeah.
You've then got the raised platform in there, and in the bottom you've got the washers and a magnetic tray to carry all your stuff.
We've got washers. Amazing. Forget the box, Justin.
You just like a good washer, eh?
Look at that. Actually, when I come in, he says, "Here, I've got a wee present for you." Open it, and went, "Flipping washers!" And I kind of put the box down, and I started rummaging through the washers, and everyone's looking at me, going, "Lloyd, the box is the present." I'm looking at the washers.
Well, I mean, like, it's a really, really nice idea. Your miniatures are going to be safe whenever they're transported about with that little extra magnetizing bit.
This stuff's for Guild Ball. That's the idea.
Ish. Guild Ball, you could put some Saga in there if you've got like a small 4-point band, something like that. But I mean, like, it does all different sizes as well. Because I mean, if you look here, so you've got different types, and it even does living hinged ones, which are really, really cool.
Yeah.
So if I can find it, it's not up here yet. I don't think.
Oh, it's got a secret box.
No, there's like a really, really big XL box, so it's like twice the size of that.
Well, Ben, seeing as this is for Guild Ball, and I know you like your Guild Ball, I'm prepared to give you my box, but it will have my name on it. And I guess you could put it on yourself and go, "There's Lloyd's box."
Or he'll be playing at the club, and someone who doesn't know him will walk up and go, "Hi, Lloyd."
Because
It'll
I'm
be
not
an easy way for me to sort of hide who I am, you see, because I'm so famous, clearly. So.
I do notice my name's spelled correctly. My name gets butchered. I mean, butchered in the comments.
I'm just happy mine doesn't have Jason on it.
Lloyd, right?
I'm either Lloyd or I'm Laud. That one's particularly. Here, Laud. Who's this Laud guy they're all talking about? That's you. Oh! Yes, well, it's spelled
pretty
correctly.
good Viking-sounding name, though, Laud, I'd say. But,
Actually, Laud the Viking.
Yeah.
Because
suddenly Lloyd's firstborn was named on camera.
I do appreciate it, but I'm heavily into my saga at the minute. I'm not going to fit a whole saga army in here.
Well, your Saga army, because it is expanding quite a bit.
Ben, you're going to be over again for another boot camp, so if you did want a box, I'm prepared to give you mine.
Oh, well, maybe. It'd be good to have a box.
We just stick a wee label or something over it and say Ben's box.
That's alright, I'll put a pretty pony sticker over it.
Anyway, moving on. Let's get stuck into one of our features for this week.
Yeah, so
now,
let's put the boxes away.
There is a load of new stuff being shown off for RuneWars at the minute, Ben, isn't there?
Yeah, so Fantasy Flight have showed off a couple of the expansions that are coming out for RuneWars over the next year or so.
Yeah.
A lot of the ones that came out sort of a couple of weeks ago now were all based around effectively what was in sort of the main box. But this one's showing off a lot more of the characters and stuff that are coming out. So we've got 2 new characters that are on the way.
Yeah.
there's Lord Hawthorne, who's the Dakan, the human character, and Ankur Maru, who is the sort of necromancer, the sort of behind the Waikar, who are the undead forces in RuneWars. This is sort of matched up as well with some additional units to sort of bolster your forces that came in the main box. So you've got some Dakan spearmen there, some of the reanimates, who are the skeletons, which look absolutely fantastic, as well as some additions for the monster side of things as well. So you've got the Rune Golems there, which I think are the thing that basically sold me on RuneWars as a concept. I just absolutely love those guys. And also the Carrion Lancers as well. So if you like those sort of strange undead beasts, almost like grubs, I guess, then you've got them as well.
So we're still waiting to see different units, though. These are this is the units that come in the core box game.
Yes,
you can buy additional ones to bulk out your army.
Yeah, everything that we've seen so far is effectively adding to what already exists. Although we have seen some stuff in the past which sort of was hinting towards what was coming out in the future. So one of the characters, for example, from the main box, who's named, I just find it, Kari Wraithstalker, actually has a little bit on her card which talks about the fact that she can have Latari elves as part of her force. So we should hopefully be seeing the elves pretty soon, so you can utilize that ability with her in gameplay. That would be very, very cool indeed.
Can we go back to the... Is it 2 new hero types then are coming out?
Yeah,
can we go back to those?
There's 2 new hero types. So you've got Lord Hawthorne there, and Ankur Maru, as I said. Yeah. They have both a mounted version and an on-foot version, so you've got some different options for them there. They also come with a lot of upgrade cards and abilities and things that will help play your force in a different way compared to Kari and the characters for the Waikar in the main box.
I'm really interested, and I've seen a couple of videos and stuff online, but I'm really interested in getting a go at this myself. Yeah. To try out, does it feel X-Wingy?
Yeah.
Does it feel different? Does it feel fantasy-esque? And with that in mind, lucky us, we have our first box has arrived.
Yep.
So we've got a massive box sitting here in front of us. Let's get that onto the camera. Yeah. Oh, do you want me to just break it?
Yeah, break it open.
Because I thought if we're going to talk about it, we could show off what's going to be in the box. And it's going. Oh, there we go. Quite a big box of stuff. Yeah. So what do we got? We got the Learn to Play.
Alright, so that's the thing you're going to want to read first. That's all your basics of movement, everything you're going to need to learn to read the symbols and stuff, what the tokens are.
Yeah, so just quickly skim through that.
Importantly, when it comes to a lot of the FFG stuff now, that really is the key starting point for this, and you pretty much only need to read that to effectively get playing with these the games from FFG now. The rules sort of companion that comes alongside it is for a little bit more of the nitty-gritty side of things, but they've made it so much easier to learn games now, and I think in terms of RuneWars and what you're getting in here, there's quite a lot to absorb. I think it's a pretty good start to get you going with it. Yeah.
Absolutely, and one of the things I noticed straight away as soon as I opened it up is sort of there is a bit of similarity to X-Wing. Here's your movement guides, templates, and again it's a 3x3 sort of area for play. I wonder if that'll be widened out in the future. If people start building bigger and bigger armies, will they widen that out, or will they just stick with a 3x3?
That's what I find a lot of companies do now. They go for a smaller play space for the very initial game. That very first starter set. Yeah. So I mean, like whenever you're playing small forces, you don't want a big expansive table to try and work on. So if you've got bigger forces, I'd say you'll definitely need bigger tables.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up, we've got the rules reference. Let's have a quick look through that. So if you're looking, look there's a bigger looking table. But I think they've still laid it out in sort of a 3x3 thing. I guess that's for making it accessible. Look, if you've got a 6x4 that you're used to playing on or something. Yeah. So anyway, that's the rules reference. I'll not flick through that too much because it's basically just rules and rules and rules. Then we have the lore guide. That's interesting. So this is our book of, quite a lot of background written in here actually. Yeah.
And we're starting to see, nice artwork. Yeah.
Well, it's one of the things actually that the world of Terranoth, where this is all set in, is actually quite deep because it's been in a lot of the existing RuneWars games that were the board games, and it's obviously been in Descent as well. So a lot of people know a lot about the sort of smaller sections of this world, and not necessarily the wider scheme of things. So I think this would be quite interesting for people to get stuck into.
Well, for me, this is what's going to inspire the tables. This one little booklet. You're going to look at this and say, right, can I create that on the table? Can I make that as a 6x4 or an 8x4 or whatever? Yeah, well, so far, right, we have this sort of gothic-looking Shattered Earth type environment. I can make that. I just found, what is that? It's like a lava type Sort of like a deserty.
Is it? Is it sort of a
That's very
deserty
deserty
thing?
to
Yeah, I
me.
think it's just the lighting makes it look sort of like
And
lava.
If you go
but
back
it's
to
sort of
earlier in the
desert.
book, there was a really nice classical sort of fantasy-esque castle.
Well, hold on. There's a sort of a foresty environment with massive trees.
Of the elves.
Which book, Justin?
That book you're in.
There's
There you go.
Oh, here we go.
So you can get a very classic open sort of plains with a nice big castle in the background.
Yeah,
It
that's
looks
good.
Very nice on a
Because one of the
tabletop.
things we're planning on doing at the boot camp for this, for the hobby boot camp, is having lots of different table types. You know the way normally we do like a big room and it all
Single theme.
it's
yeah.
like a big environment and the whole thing stretches. This one we're thinking, well, we'll have, deserty area. We'll have foresty area. We'll have cliffy area. So each one of them feels different. So as you move around the room during the week or the weekend after you've built your stuff and stuff and painted it and things, you get a real feel of what it's like to play in different areas. Okay, moving on. We've got a big
Block of
pack
tokens.
of templates and tokens. I'll hand that to you.
I'll get this open.
And I'll start rummaging through. Here we got bases. These are these interesting slot together ones.
The jigsaw bases.
Yeah, so let me just quickly put a few of those together. There we go. Well, that works really well. It's really easy. And I see we've got the little slot in zones and a wee, what would you call that? A wee bit that sticks up to help capture the bases and stuff.
Yeah. Just a little guiding tag.
Moving on, we've lots of bags of minis. Justin, have you built any of this?
Yeah, if you look just behind you, I've got some built up. We'll show them in a second. But
Okay,
I've got your template and token sheets here, all separated out.
so let's see what we get.
First thing, you've got your big measuring stick.
Okay.
You then got this, which is all of your control panels for your
Now,
different forces.
yes, like the X-wing sort of thing, except you get two
to
of
one.
these sort of things
Yeah.
to donate what your units are going to do. That's interesting. I'm looking forward to trying that out.
Yeah. We've then got this, which is actually more of those and some terrain,
Yeah.
which is interesting. It's nice to see you're getting a bit of 2D terrain to mix in with this.
Okay. Well, we're not going to need that at the boot camp because we're going to have terrain galore. But yes, it's there because that's one of the things I like about this is like self-contained box.
Yeah.
Anytime
up and
anyone
playing.
says, "Oh, I want to get into miniature gaming and stuff," one of the first things I recommend is X-wing.
Yeah.
Right, because it has everything to get started. Now this costs a bit more than X-wing, but if someone's saying I want to get into a fantasy battle game, I'm hoping after I've played this, I'll be like, yeah, get that, because you just open the box,
Yeah.
you get all the tokens and counters, and
Yeah.
you get some terrain, you get two full factions and stuff.
Really nice. It's really well thought out. I will give it that.
Yeah.
And then the best bit is, so I had a bit of a play with the miniatures.
Well,
and stuff.
we've got the cards.
Oh, right. Sorry, there's more. There's
yeah.
more.
So we've got our card decks, which I'll open and have. Here, you open that and see what's in that.
Yeah. Let me clear the runway here because we've got another camera to get this stuff out of the way.
Okay,
Got
so
there.
let's see what we've got. Right.
You probably want.
So this is my deck that I'm going through here. What is this? I have no idea. What are we looking at? Standoff. Ooh. All sorts of different cards. I'm going to have to read the rules. What did you get, Justin?
I believe I have spells and abilities here.
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing these little symbols, right?
Okay.
So the little yellow symbols that you're seeing here. I'm going to lay odds that because you're getting those in the box, you're probably going to have some characters that are going to generate those and actually be able to spend them to pull off abilities.
Well, I'm expecting like an X-wing, you'll have like little cards and
Yeah,
things
little upgrade cards for your units and
that
stuff.
you can say, oh, I've got a named guy this and a named lady that.
It's nicely laid out, and I like the fact that you even get one card that's actually showing you how you should lay out your table
Yes.
for the different scenarios.
So as when you get stuck into it, you don't have to go looking
Over
for
your
the
right hand
robots.
shoulder.
Where am I looking here, Justin?
Right hand
Aha!
shoulder, second down.
Built minis.
Yes. Now, these are actually really nicely designed because they're all plug and play.
Ooh.
So even if you're just wanting to keep these unpainted,
Yeah.
you can just work away with them. Because, I mean, there's no glue on those. Those are just sitting and holding themselves together. Not a problem.
Yeah, because that's one of the interesting things if we get a couple of these minis out. Actually,
Yeah.
you get a couple of minis out and I'll show off some more.
Yeah,
So-
sure thing.
That was the mounted characters. Now here's the main bad guy. I'm calling him a bad guy, I don't know, but usually you would think skeletons would be the baddies. Ben, what do you think of the skeleton mounted on the giant worm?
I think all of the sculpts that they came out with are absolutely fantastic for this game. The carrion crawlers in particular are quite interesting. Well, sorry, carrion lancers actually are quite fascinating. I just love the idea that they've sort of got this effectively like a grave worm effectively, but sort of scaled it up so it's this huge, massive thing. Very, very cool indeed. I actually got a little bit of a peek at this while sort of on the tail end of the boot camp when I was over with you guys, and just the detail on a lot of the sculpts is absolutely fantastic. It's not at all really what I was expecting, to be honest, because I mean I've seen a lot of board game stuff coming out of Fantasy Flight over the last couple of years and stuff, and their sculpting quality is very, very good, but I didn't know how it was going to come across in this sort of scale. But they definitely seem to have kicked it out of the park, actually. So
see, I was concerned. I was thought, oh, there'll be a lot of building at this boot camp and not leave enough time to play. Well, but then we started rummaging through the bag, and it was like, oh, this is all really sort of plug and go.
Build this on camera.
Challenge. Yeah, okay, so let's see what we've got.
The only thing you're missing is a base.
We've got that base. Where does that go? So that goes there.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yep.
That goes on there like this.
But.
Oh, he's got a skirty thing first. There we go. His loincloth's in place.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. It's very strong plastic, very flexible.
Okay. And what have I got here? I've got
2 spare arms.
Oh, 2. No, they're not spare arms. There we go. Remember, he's a 4-armed figure.
Yes. Yeah.
Once I just figure out.
Is that the left or the right hand?
Which? Oh yeah. Hold on. There we go. You can tell this is live on camera. There we go. That's in place.
One more arm.
So literally, it's just pop it out and put it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like obviously, a lot of our people at the boot camp, they're going to glue this all together to have it done. But
ta-da!
If you just want to run it as a board game, you don't really have to glue it together. You can put it on and just work with it as is.
Let me just concentrate on getting him firm on his base here. I had him a minute ago. You can tell this
back to front.
You can tell this is
holes.
No, this is it. This is it. I got it the right way around. You can tell this is live on camera. There we go.
But I mean, it literally took me 5 minutes to put together the ones that I put together.
Yeah. Well, it didn't take me very long, and I'm under pressure to do it under camera.
Yeah.
But I guess that gives you paint options as well. Maybe you could paint it in separate bits and put it together.
Yeah.
Things like that.
I'd never do that. Never do that.
We did have a discussion about that weeks ago, so we're not going to get into it. But I was like pleased when I walked in and seen that it was a lot of plug and play bits, and then when you come in just before we come on camera,
I just started putting bits together.
I started just throwing whole units together. So we've got some of the skellies and some of the. I'm going to have to learn the unit names here, Ben. Do you know the unit names?
Yeah, so the skeletons are called the reanimated.
Yeah.
So then you've got their sort of skeleton reanimated archers are the other guys, so the skeletons with the bows. You have the carrion lancer, who is the large beast that we talked about before, and then their leader is a sort of huge warlord, an undead warlord called Ardus X Erebus.
What are the main sort of knights sort of looking guys for the blue faction? This literally came in at the weekend, so I haven't had a chance to read any of it.
Yeah, well, Lloyd, I am planning actually to break this out at the weekend for you and me to get our first game of it in, because I want to learn to play this before everybody arrives for the boot camp. That way, we can sort of help guide people as they're painting and playing and actually putting the stuff together. Absolutely, but I didn't want to delay putting it on the show. I wanted you guys to get a look at it. And some other important news is anyone coming to the boot camp is going to get your box a month before anybody else. Yeah. Because I've heard that from the guys that the actual release is being pushed back a month, but it's not affecting our boot camp. So if you're coming to the boot camp, you will get your box about a month before anybody else is going to get a hold of theirs at retail. Yeah. Isn't that awesome? It is.
Very cool.
That is very cool. And I'm just clipping together another big unit. Yeah. So I kind of like that.
To keep you in the know then, Lloyd, the humans are called the Deccan, if you want to get their real name. They're led by Kari Wraithstalker that we talked about before. You have the Spearmen that we've talked about. They also have the Cavalry, which are the Oath Sworn Cavalry. And then their big guy is the Rune Golem as well. So there you go. You got some more names to get stuck into that lore style now.
I'm really looking forward to it, because I've got a real thing for skeleton armies at this point in time. And I'm having a look at these guys too. I'm thinking, which faction do I paint? I think do I try to paint both? Do I concentrate on one? What do you think?
You see,
which faction do you like?
Sorry.
Oh, I quite like both now, because I thought it was just going to be runaway skeletons. But having got to see these up close, I'm looking at these going, oh, well, these are interesting too. Because I'm planning on going to the boot camp myself this time.
You're attending?
Because I really wanted to get into this game and see, would this be the sort of game that I would recommend to people trying to get into fantasy gaming?
Well, whenever it comes to the boot camp weekend, I will try and get at least 1 or 2 games in with someone.
Yeah. as I reach for my notes that have been buried under everything. Yeah, so quick reminder, there are there's like 2 or 3 tickets left, something like that. I think there's like a couple of tickets.
So if you want that last minute chance to jump in and come and join us for a weekend's gaming,
if you want your box a month before anybody else, and a great weekend's crack,
and that 80 quid's worth of paint,
you'll exactly. You'll want to look at the tickets, man, because the value, the value
in the box and the paint,
it just blows me away. Right, let's see. Okay, moving on. Because we're going to be doing that over the next few weeks. We're going to be on the up to the boot camp and stuff. Going to talk more about RuneWars. But moving on, Justin, Carlos has been over last week there.
Yes.
Busy week. And you were getting a chance to talk to him about what's happening Infinity-wise and stuff at Adepticon.
Well, it's actually more than just what's happening Infinity-wise at Adepticon, because there's a lot of interesting things kicking off for Infinity. Luxembourg is still running. They have some new exclusive minis and stuff coming out for Gen Con. So, stay tuned on the Monday, because we have something special coming for you.
Yeah, you want to watch Beasts of War on Monday.
Yeah.
About 11 o'clock, tune in.
Yeah, and Carlos actually drops a very interesting piece of information that no one on the world knows outside of Beasts of War and Corvus Belli at the minute. So, you're going to want to watch this.
Is that our second video that we're going to put out on Monday?
No. That's something else again.
Later in the week.
So in this interview we're about to watch. I tell you what. Watch the interview. Here's a couple of hubs.
Flames of War brings you the battles of World War II in epic 15mm scale. Go to the hub on beastsofwar.com to find news, tactics, and tutorials about the game. Progress comes to a world of magic as science and the arcane combine to make marvels. Meet steampunk inventors and orc mystics at the Volsun hub on beastsofwar.com.
Hi everybody, I've been joined by the fabulous Carlos in the studio for this weekend show because, Carlos, we have something to tell everyone.
Just something, I have a lot of things to tell, really. I mean, the next days are going to be pretty exciting because right after filming here at Beasts of War, the lovely contents that we're making, I'm going to the USA, I'm going to Rumble. Oh, let me show my t-shirt.
You have a t-shirt?
I have a lovely t-shirt here.
Oh, look at that. That's nice.
That was from a previous Rumble 66 tournament, and I'm going back again to the lovely Albuquerque, New Mexico, where the huge event, more than 100 players, hardcore Infinity players in the USA will measure their muscles in a huge Infinity event. Awesome. I will make a seminar there. I have a ton of previews to show you, just for you guys. So, yeah, tons of stuff. Right after that, boom, a flight to Chicago, to Schaumburg, where Adepticon.
Yeah.
Adepticon is happening. I have a proofreading version of the manga here. It's this thick.
Wow.
This thick.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Okay.
Spoiler.
Interesting.
Destroyed everything.
Oh, this is very interesting. You'll have to wait for this. I'm seeing this right now. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, we're super happy with this project, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a love project. Of course, with the manga, there's a lovely pre-order miniature. We have it right here.
If I may?
Yeah.
Oh, come here. Look at this. Say hello to the newest, child of the Infinity line.
Say hello to my little friend.
That gun is not little. That is not a little friend. That's at least a medium friend.
Yeah.
But
this is Nauf, a mercenary sniper. He's an important character in the manga, and he's in the cover, and we decided to make the pre-order miniature with this character.
He's absolutely beautiful, Carlos.
Yeah. We will get deeper into this guy on Monday, really.
Awesome stuff. And Angel, was it Angel that painted this one?
Of course.
Oh, he's done a fantastic job on it. He looks great. I love the detail that you've worked into the face on this guy. Very nicely done. But we have more stuff.
We have tons of stuff, really. Yes. I'm very excited to go to the USA. There will be more information being revealed these days. Tons of stuff. Apart from Infinity, we have the Luxumbra Kickstarter going on. It's been super successful, and it has not yet finished. They are unlocking stuff, and I have a few images here that might be interesting for you.
Okay, well, first up, we have Joan of Arc as a bust, yeah?
Well, this is just a sketch made by some super talented artist, probably. And this bust for Pan Oceania, which haven't received any particular sculpt in the Luxumbra Kickstarter, will be unlocked if they reach 130, 130K. I don't know how you express that.
130,000.
Yeah, dollars.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Now I'm seeing two images here. So
Yeah, because that boost will come with the without helmet and with helmet. There are two versions.
So this
of
is the
Joan of
with
Arc.
helmet variant.
Yep.
I don't know. I kind of like it without. I kind of really like it without.
Well, that is just a sketch. Let's see if the final execution of the sculpt.
Yeah,
because
true.
that depends very much on the delivering of the execution. Everything is all about execution.
Hang on, you're talking about execution. It's you guys. It's Luxumbra. It's whatever. They're beautiful. They're guaranteed to be gorgeous.
It is Luxumbra, and you can still join in. The Kickstarter is still open, and probably they will reach that level because they're usually they are already almost there. They are like 111. Probably they will reach that top by the end of the project. Also, we have an update here. I have just received some images. Let me show it.
Okay.
to
So I have a 3D render.
Yep, please.
Okay. So.
This is the fully sculpted 3D render without the final posing of Ajax the Great. I don't know the name of the sculptor right now, I'm sorry. This is Ajax the Great. That is a very popular miniature in the Infinity range. It was made originally by hand by José Luis Roig, but now we are making this, Luxumbra is making this 3D sculpt, and the final posing where we're aiming for having something that brings to 3D to real life the lovely artwork from the campaign Paradiso book, which was the first time people will see Ajax. Look at that face, look at that muscles, look at that huge hammer over there. Okay, we're trying, Luxumbra is trying to reach that level, okay, to have such an impressive miniature. This will be like 90 centimeters, is like a tag obviously, because it's like a 75 millimeters sculpt, but if you put the Oyoroi pilot next to Ajax, Ajax has to be bigger, so this probably will reach 9 centimeters.
Wow. I mean, like, if you can do a miniature that big with that pose and get that kind of emotion into it, that's going to be beautiful for some of the painters out there to work on.
Yeah, as a canvas, as something to paint and enjoy every tiny detail. I mean, yeah, I feel tempted to give myself to paint a hand, and I have no hands for that really.
Okay, now we also have some other stuff here.
Yeah, our friends for Custom Meeple, they deserve all my attention. This was made long ago, but I have these images here of the obviously Imperial Service Yuqing kind of stuff, and Yuqing is number one, and you know it. Yuqing is the greatest faction and the most efficient, and they are delivering. They are making these days a lovely project, secret project. But I would like just to point out.
Wait. They're on a secret project?
Yeah, I saw something in my phone just a few minutes ago.
Carlos, buddy,
too early, too work in progress to reveal, nothing to already show as a fancy image.
No, but here, whenever they're ready, tell them to get in touch
pay
with you,
attention to Custom Meeple, because in the next months they're going to deliver something lovely for Infinity, really.
Well, I mean, like the Yujing style buildings are absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, and these are modular. You can combine those as separate pieces or as a huge temple. I remember making photos for this for Infinity Miniatures. I remember having a preview photo of a Basi Basuk with those buildings, and the look of it was lovely, really.
Beautiful stuff. So is that everything that's happening?
Well, allow me to announce something. May I spoil the beans of Vision War a little bit? Okay, guys, Infinity players, or Infinity newcomers even. Last year, Vision War did something lovely, really, and we're going to make it again. We're going to make again. Remember Operation Flame Strike? Remember the Flammy Island where we conquered in the spots and all the armies were colliding? I was playing with Yuqing so wholeheartedly, beating everybody. That is going to happen again.
Okay.
Corvus Belli has made lovely contents for a project that it still have to be developed, but now I can confirm to everybody, to the forums, because some people were already asking for this in the forums.
May I use this one?
Okay, yeah. Show that.
So this?
It's just the logo, guys.
Okay, well, no, but it's that piece that everybody's going to look at, and this is the name that's going to be on your lips for the next few months.
Yeah.
Strike Zone Wotan.
And let me tell you that the next Infinity collaboration between Corvus Belli and Vision War, the next big campaign in Infinity, will not happen in any particular planet. It will happen in space. Okay. So yeah, at some point we will reveal the spaceships and the orbitals and the lovely stuff that Cruz really has designed for this campaign. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool.
Probably pretty soon, because when I get into the USA, I will show everything. I will spoil all the beans. Totally.
So, do I need to send you out with a gag on you? No, it's fine. I know I can't stop you.
It's
going to be exciting.
I just can't contain myself.
Yeah.
Damn! I mean,
Yeah.
2 huge events in a row in the USA with contents, with the super special products. I mean, we're living very exciting days.
Yep. The other thing is, we do need to get you back before Gen Con, because I'm sure there will be even more happening
Well,
at that.
2017. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Where does the time go?
So many stuff. Cannot reveal anything else. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
let's focus on super new stuff that is actually being revealed right now. Okay, let's not spoil the beans of August and further.
All right, well, everybody, get onto the forums, start sharing the news. We'll move on here, and we will keep you up to date with all of the latest and greatest that's happening with Infinity, Carlos, Corvus Belli, and everything else to do with Infinity. We'll see you in a bit.
From Viking halls to the cities of the future, terrain buffs will love our foreground hub. Watch gaming tables of all genres come to life at beastsofwar.com. Humanity has been driven from Earth, but now it's time to take it back. Join the Reconquest and fight the Scourge on the Drop Zone Commander Hub at beastsofwar.com.
Carlos, he's a busy man. He is jet setting all over the world.
You say jet
Well,
setting?
mostly
I
to
don't know. I think someone
mostly
just
to
strapped an
America.
Acme rocket to his back and just went, Carlos, go.
Carlos, to America with you now!
Yeah. But as everybody has just seen, Strike Zone Wotan will be kicking off later this year.
Absolutely. I mean, if you enjoyed the Infinity campaign last time, my goodness, the changes and things we're planning to do this time. I'm not going to get into any detail. But you're going to want to get involved. You definitely are.
Well,
It's exciting stuff.
it's very exciting stuff. But also exciting this week is we have some Kickstarters on the go as well. And one of my favourite games out there is now kickstarting their second edition of the rules. So, what we have is Relic Knight's second edition has landed on Kickstarters. It's got 5 days left.
Yeah.
And look at the set that they've created for this line. So you've got your big box minis.
Wait.
Yeah.
It's hardly just landed on Kickstarter if there's only 5 days left.
It's landed on Kickstarter quite some time ago. And
Less by the time you're watching this, 3 days probably.
Actually,
3 days
yeah,
left,
you'd be
yeah.
right.
So you need to get a
You'd be right.
skates on if you're interested.
But here's what you're getting in the box. You're getting 2 factions, pre-done terrain, all the cards you need to play and get Unimate up and running.
Ooh.
So,
That is sweet. Do they show bigger pictures and stuff as we go down?
well, so you've got the new rules.
Yep.
Moving on. You've got Void Break.
Yeah.
Look at some of the minis.
Ooh. That's... no, I've seen the artwork for this miniature.
Yes.
And it's really interesting the way she's just sort of floating.
Yes, absolutely. And then we've got the new Radiant Cadre.
Yeah.
Which is, I love these big, heavily armored dudes. Ben, do they kind of remind you of dwarves?
They do a little bit.
Big dwarfs.
I must admit, yeah. It was also quite interesting looking at the other force that comes in the box, which is the Void Cadre, because that's all sort of tied into what's happening with the sort of storyline going forward as well. So it was really nice to see them looking at those characters and Tahariel and stuff like that. So really nice looking set. Yeah.
I think the Void. Scroll back up. I think the Void's the one that's tickling me the most at the minute.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd go for the Radiant.
Let's see the Radiant again.
So the Radiant up here.
Yeah, they're nice, but I think the Void's the one, the faction out of the two. Are those the 2 factions actually in the boxes you get?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
And then when we're scrolling on down, who are we
You've
seeing
got all
now
the
then?
other factions. So you've got Cersei Speed Circuit you can
But
jump in with.
All right, so these are expansions to your pledge.
Yes.
Yes, essentially. But these are basically starter forces you can run with as well. Shattered Sword Cadre. You've got my favorite Star Nebula Corsairs.
I didn't know they had a giant robot.
Dude, I already have that.
You have that?
Yeah, when John C was over, he had one with him. He just quietly handed it to me and said, keep that quiet for a
It
minute.
must have been very quiet because I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Can you bring that in the weekend?
Yeah, I'll bring it in and let you
when
have a look at
we're
it.
gaming tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, stat cards have been completely redesigned. Similar system.
Yeah.
So you have that sort of 2-stat system where you have your initial and your secondary. So your initial is whenever you're on the offensive, you get that stat. The secondary is when you're on the defensive, is when you get that. They may have switched that around. You've also got movement stat. one thing I love about this game is the speed of movement, which is I can run in, punch you in the face, Lloyd, and then I can bugger off again.
Now, we've had a themed week for Relic Knights.
We have indeed.
But they've done some rules updates and stuff since the themed week.
They have.
So,
you know,
it's still relevant. There's a lot of content there. If you want to get into Relic Knights, go and check out the themed week.
Yeah.
I'm sure there isn't that many updates because, well, most rule systems go little
system ran
incremental
really
updates.
clean already.
Yeah.
You know, and we were running with like the latest FAQs we had at the time, so yeah, it's minor tweaks.
Okay.
But we've also had redesigns of the actual Esper decks, which is quite nice. I like the design of the old one, but this looks really, really nice too.
Yes, because they've changed the logo and stuff as well.
They've also done a how to play here, and yeah, going through all the different pledge levels. You know, $70 jumping in, that's not bad.
Ben, what do you think of this Kickstarter? Do you like the Relic Knight stuff?
I'm not really that much of like a big sort of anime chibi style fan, but I genuinely do quite like a lot of what they've been doing with Relic Knights. As I was saying above, I quite like what they're doing with the Void. I think that's very, very cool. The Star Nebula Corsairs are awesome as well. I mean, who doesn't like Star Pirates and these kind of things? They got some very, very cool characters mixed in there. A couple of them actually weren't released that long ago, actually, on their web store and stuff.
You see, I'd be in the same boat as you. The manga thing isn't normally my cup of tea, but the two factions that Ben just mentioned, the Void and the Star
Nebulas.
The Star Nebulas, both those actually appeal to me quite a lot.
You see an even cooler mech that they have.
What? Even cooler? Oh,
a Relic Knight. Hawker the Undying, or Harker the Undying.
Very cool. Yeah.
You know, he's essentially got naval artillery up on his shoulder there.
You see, that's a bit too manga-esque for me, though. I knew that would tickle you, but the more robotic-looking ones and the Void faction are the ones that are tickling me.
See, I have this thing in my head of if I was going to ever go into it, I'd probably pick up one of the factions like the guys we talked about there, but then do them in sort of a Final Fantasy VII Shinra style paint scheme and carry that over. I think that could be very, very cool, and that might be just the sort of nudge I need to get me playing something like Relic Knights, I think. But yeah,
absolutely. Well, if you're interested. About 3 days left.
Yeah, last gasp, jump in now.
It is fully funded and everything, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's more than fully funded. They're like 4 times funded.
Oh, well over the hill.
Yeah, and busting through stretch goals left, right, and centre.
Right. Speaking of Kickstarters and stuff.
Yeah.
One that's interesting me is just hit the Kickstarter sphere again.
Yeah.
It's a new one from the Printable Scenery company.
Mm-hmm.
Now you've had a chance to get a wee interview with them today.
Yeah, basically.
Just before we come into film.
Actually, I came in at the crack of dawn to catch this because we're in Ireland. I was doing the interview with someone in New Zealand, so you kind of have to make those time zones meet.
Yeah, so you're speaking to Matt Barker, I believe?
Yes, I am.
Well,
if you want, shall we go across and watch it first?
Yeah, let's see what he had to say.
It's time for 28mm World War II action. Will you recreate history or reshape it your way? On the Bolt Action Hub at beastsofwar.com. Fight for the Iron Kingdoms as a warcaster. Take control of the mighty jacks, arcane devices, and dark sorceries to bring the fight to the War Machine Hub on beastsofwar.com.
Hi everybody, I'm joined by Matt from Printable Scenery, and Matt, you have a bit of a Kickstarter running at the minute for Time Warp because you're wanting to do some extra stuff. So can you maybe give everybody a quick overview of, well, first off, welcome to the show, but can you give us a quick idea of what Time Warp is?
Well, it's a collection of 3D printable scenery, so you can print it at home with your home 3D printer. It covers 3 kind of essential theatres of war. Mm-hmm. It covers the Americas, Europe, and also covers another kind of fantasy element called Rampage Castle. And we've kind of designed a range of buildings based on what some of our backers and our previous backers have asked us to kind of put together. And we've put together these 3 kind of core pledges. They range from, you can see on the Kickstarter, but they range from things like this modular church.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
nice.
Which you can kind of, print different parts out and change it kind of during play kind of thing.
Okay, now that's an idea I like.
To kind of a whole Western theme.
Oh, okay, there is no Western table that's complete without its saloon, and that is beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, and they're all modelled interiors.
Nice. Very, very nice.
But we've designed them for games, so... This is like a 35mm balcony, so you can fit 30mm bases on there easily. And then we've got Rampage system. Rampage Castle is like a follow-on from our Rampage dungeon tiles, and they're interchangeable. You've got, this is a tower construction, and what you do with Rampage is you assemble it together with I'm going kind of too quickly, but there's a basic piece, there's a basic wall, and then you kind of start assembling these columns on the side.
I see.
And then go like that.
So it's a full modular system we're working with, yeah?
And then you start to build your structures.
Very nice, very nice.
You can build anything. You can build massive complex structures or dungeons or towers.
Yeah. See, this is the kind of thing I always love seeing. Essentially, what's Wargamer Lego, where you can just go at it and build, massive sprawling structures, or just actually break it all down and put it into like nice lots of little individual buildings. Very, very cool, mate.
Yeah, so, it is. It's like Lego. It reminds me of Lego, putting Lego together as a kid. Now, and when you shake the box full of it, it sounds like Lego.
Now, you see, this is something I'm interested in. Because your Kickstarter is actually for the 3D files that people can print at home, is the technology getting to that point where people can actually just go out, pick one up, set it up, and just pop one of your files into it?
Yeah, well, I mean, it is now. It's over the last couple of years, it's really developed into a home hobby where, without any computer skills, without any kind of 3D training or anything like that, you can simply download a model, put it into what's called a slicer, which is a piece of software which gets it ready for the printer. Push print, it'll make you a file, put it in your printer, and away you go. So it's really drag and drop print. It does rely on getting good models. When you start messing around with models, that's when you get into difficult territory, because the file itself can break, if you like. Right. But if you get a good model that's ready to go, it's fine.
You see, this is one of the things that I think a lot of people don't really consider whenever they're working on 3D modeling stuff and 3D printing stuff, is the actual structure of the model. If you have like a massive overhang or something, that might not exactly work. You need to build like structures and stuff internally and actually have it, have the thing be strong. You're actually building something from nothing here. So I mean, like the actual design process, how does that normally go for you guys? Do you actually look at it and say, right, Joe Blogg is going to be grabbing this and working on it? How simple do I have to make this to make it work for him?
Yeah, well, I guess one of the main things is you try and work within the parameters of a standard additive 3D printing process. And I think when you're designing for industrial design, you always take your machinery into account. Even if you're working and making something for a pressure mold, you need to allow the thing to come out, and when it's released, so you design it as such. So, for example, if you look at the Realm portal or the Dwarven Realm Gate, this will print like this without supports, because all of the angles and the way the flames put together, it self supports as it prints. So you just take that into account when you're doing it. So, for example, another thing would be like this catapult trebuchet system.
Wait, you've done trebuchets?
Yeah, we've got trebuchets and we've got ballistas as well, and we're making a catapult too.
Oh, I want them right now.
Well, I've printed out like 3 of these straight away to use as rock globbers, and I'm going to print out another couple of these. I think I can have 5 in my Age of Sigmar army, or 4, I can't remember. But so when we're designing this, you just like the cross members are at the right angle, so it doesn't need that many supports. But there is a few supports in it, like it'll need some under here. So we build them in, but we build them so they touch the tops of the bolts. So tops of the rivets. So when you cut off the flashing, if you like, or the support, you don't leave any marks on the wood grain. So you kind of try to do things like that as much as you can.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm absolutely loving this idea of actually being able to print out your own terrain, because whenever we got finally got a 3D printer in the studio, right? My first
Excellent.
thought was, I want to actually start printing some nice terrain pieces for the studio to actually lay out cool tables and actually be able to build cool stuff. And then, I had that moment of my head, well, where do I go to? And then Warren told me this morning, yeah, you're going to be interviewing a guy who's doing it. So this is actually really, really cool. And it's going to make it so much more accessible to people. Instead of them having to sit down and go, right, well, I need to design a piece of terrain. No. You can just jump on Kickstarter.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is as well as we can make, if you're making a production run, you can only make a certain amount of sizes or styles of a certain object, and then you have to make a whole bunch of those. But with printable scenery, what you can do is you can make 30 or 40 different designs, and people will go in and print the ones they want to use. Like, for example, the walkway system. I don't know if you can see it on this table here.
Oh, yeah, I'm seeing some very beautiful tables in the background there.
Well, this is a wooden walkway system. So we've got a whole bunch of styles and heights and different heights and layers that you can print. So depending on the type of table you're making or what you want to do, you can just print the parts that you want in the different, resizes. We've got fatter ones, much shorter ones, different types of broken ones. So you might print one of those and 10 of something else, or just depending on what you want to do.
Yeah. We see this is also an idea I love, which is, you're not opening a box and going, well, I'm missing a bit. No, you'll start up your 3D printer and go, right, I need 5 of these, 10 of those. Oh, actually, I need an extra one of those. Let's print that out. You're never going to have that moment of, I'm coming up short on a specific type of part to do what I want to do. So it really frees people up. It's really impressive.
Yeah. I mean, especially like with, you've got, you just want another stone thrower for the week, for the weekend, and you just print one out. And you can print it out quicker than if you bought it and it got posted, online.
Well, there's a question as well. How long does it take to print out something like, say, that trebuchet? How long would the average printer take to run it out?
It depends on the quality settings. So this set to high quality takes about 6 hours to print and would cost you maybe $3 or something in plastic. So you would press print and come back later, or I always leave a print going at night, the bigger ones, so about 6 hours.
Well, it's a really, really nice looking system that you're coming up with here. I love the look of the Rampage Castle. I think that's going to be fantastic for people that want to sort of play in the Dark Ages. Wild West, everybody loves to work on that. And what was the other one? The Church? For like World War II and stuff, you can just go to town on that. And I love the idea that you can actually slot bits out mid-game. Oh no, this is taking an artillery strike. The church is now bombed out. It looks great, mate. Fantastic.
Yeah. And we've got we've tried to keep some of them into we're just painting this up. This is the first goal, and we try to keep the Europe pledge and the Americas pledge. We've tried to keep the buildings really historical kind of looking and accurate in their size as much as possible, but keep them game ready. Whereas the Rampage is much more fantasy, with big, thick, chunky kind of bricks and beams and bracing.
Well, for me, I love that style of sort of castle, because I imagine a castle. I'm not imagining some crumbling, ruined wreck sitting on a rocky promontory. I'm imagining a nice, big, bulky stone castle that's sitting in the middle of a forest, just waiting to be assaulted. And that's what your one looks like. It's perfect for me, mate.
Yeah.
Right. So, how long do you have left on your Kickstarter?
I think there's. I'm not sure actually. I think it might be 10 days or something.
All right. So it might be like 9 days then. It looks like a fantastic one. It's one that people, if they are into the 3D printing and if they're thinking of getting into 3D printing, should really check out. Do you have sort of a preferred 3D printer company that you guys go to, that you would recommend people will go to get their, that my first printer experience?
Yeah, I mean, we've started the last couple of years. We've been using a Prusa i3, and there's a new one out called the Prusa i3 Mark II. So we've been using that printer, and it's an amazing printer. At 0.1 resolution, high quality, you virtually can't see the lines of resolution from the printer. It has things like laser bed leveling, so you don't have to re-level the bed each time before you do it, every couple of days or whatever. And it's $600, and
Wow.
so it's a good printer. It's probably, you see them much cheaper, like $200 or $300 now. And if you want to give it a try, then just go and buy a real cheap $200 or $300 printer. But I think, having the $600 one, that's going to last you for ages. It's going to be printing something every day. You're going to end up with 300 models at the end of the year, giving them away to your friends and club and printing more stuff. And we've got customers who've printed like nearly every single model. I mean, I thought I was the only one who printed everything, but there's guys there that have printed all our stuff.
Nice. You see, this was one thing I had considered as well. With the level that the 3D printers are at the minute, even if you're a member of a club and you all sort of, club in together and put a little bit together to get that higher end printer to make your stuff that little bit nicer, I would say that's well worth doing. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of guys print for their club and give it to their club. I mean, that's, we say to people, fair use is printed and give it to your friends and club. And of course, obviously people are not allowed to print and go into the business of selling our models. That's kind of a different thing altogether.
Yeah. But no, you see, that would just be completely wrong, because you guys have spent the time working on it, designing it. Someone tries to sell that on, no. But I mean, like, if a club gets together and they all club in to buy one nice 3D printer, and that 3D printer is just used to cycle stuff out for the club, I would say that's absolutely fine. Would you agree?
Yeah. I mean, it takes a while. This is for a professional modeler, not just someone out of university, somebody who's been doing it a while. That's like about 3 weeks, 4 weeks solid work. Exactly. For someone who's got 10 plus years experience, really. You get a new university graduate and you ask him to make that, and he won't make it in 2 months. It'll still be wrong. Yeah. Well, so it's not it's a very time-consuming process to make it look really good.
Yeah. Well, the one other advantage you guys now have that 3D printers are getting to that level is distribution. You're not having to pick and pack boxes. You're picking the files that are to go out to everybody and going, right, there's your files, have fun. So I'm guessing that takes a lot of pressure off you guys for actual fulfillment and stuff.
It does, but people are also aware that we can change it too. So, quite often people will say, hey, that's great, but can you do this to the model as well? And it's not that difficult, and we have a little work queue where we're just going through stuff. And people are asking us for little additions or tweaks, and we do them because we think it's an option we can put on the model that maybe other people will use, So, like, one guy just asked us for a solid version of a particular model, so we made that for them. And it's quite good. I think that's just enhancing one of the benefits of 3D printing.
Well, Matt, thank you very much for coming in today. It's a
pleasure. Thank you.
It's an absolutely fantastic looking project. The miniatures themselves are just gobsmacking. I really want to get a couple of the files in and give them a go on our house printer here. Guys, if you are interested in your 3D printing, make sure and go across to Kickstarter, check out Time Warp, and, well, if you like what you see, and why would you not, make sure and jump in and actually back it, because it's a very well worth project. 3D printing is one of those parts of the hobby that is coming in and coming in further and further and further, and it just enhances everything that you can possibly do. So, Matt, thank you once again for joining us. We'll move on here, and we'll see you a little later.
I love me some 3D printing.
See, I want to have a play with some of these files. I want to see what we could make for a tabletop with them. I think it could be very, very fun to actually get this in the hands and play with it like Wargamer Lego.
Well, you see, for us, that was the key reason to get a 3D printer.
Yeah.
Was to free us up to say, oh, we need this particular type of terrain. Bam, let's either let's find it, source it, print it.
Yeah.
All we've got to do now is get it painted up, because we've lots of different game systems coming in, and then we have people flying at short notice, and you're thinking, we don't have any terrain that suits that.
Yeah, but
so
even
you
then,
get some printed up.
It's one of those things. We might have a table, but the thing that I've discovered recently that really sort of makes a gaming table is those little incidental pieces. They might have nothing to do with the game, but if I'm setting up, say, a winter village, and I put some street lamps into that, and some wrought iron benches, and some crates and barrels. Crates and barrels, fine, you'll maybe work with.
Yeah.
But the street lamps, you're not going to do anything with them. But when they're on the table, they just make it that little bit nicer.
Yes, because we've been getting a lot of those in from Foreground, and you guys are particularly keen on using them in the likes of Volsung and stuff.
Exactly. It's those little incidental pieces that bring a world to life. So I think having the ability to actually create some of those and print them out would be
let's
great.
have a chat with Ben. Ben, what do you think of it? And just could you bring up the Kickstarters and have a look, see what there is?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good idea, and we've seen a lot of companies out there going down this route where we're starting to see them looking towards offering up just the files and stuff. And I think it sort of points towards the whole ethos of 3D printing and creating your own terrain being a lot more accessible nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about the likes of Fab Labs and all these kind of things as well. But there are a lot of also places that are setting up workshops where you can go and print this kind of stuff, and you don't necessarily have to learn about it; they just do it for you effectively. And then people are picking them up for themselves as well. And especially when we get into the stage where the quality of the kind of stuff we're looking at is very, very good as well. I think we're seeing it being a lot more of a sort of a lucrative option for someone, because you're looking at, wow, I can actually get this stuff and it'll actually look like this when I get it printed out and things, bearing in mind you've got a pretty good printer. I mean, obviously Gianna's been looking at this in her sort of series, we'll link that below, where she's been talking about how her experiences with 3D printing, and she's created some really nice looking bits and pieces of terrain and some accessories as well. So when you're looking at stuff like this from printable scenery, you've got some pretty good choices out there now.
Ben, I'm going, because we just came to a trebuchet.
Yep.
I so want
Ballista.
a Ballista too. I so want these things.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Gianna. Gianna's definitely jumped all, headlong, feet first into the whole 3D printing thing and loving it.
Yeah, and it looks like it's one of those things that would be somewhat daunting to begin with, but then just becomes this thing that you can sort of get on with and get stuck into. Because I know she's been talking about the fact that, to begin with it was, wow, this is a lot of big technology stuff going on. But then just like, she'll come on Skype or whatever and just say, oh yeah, I'm just sticking something on the printer, blah, 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 blah. It's going away kind of thing. And it's like, wow, fair enough, yeah. So it seems like one of the things that's definitely getting a lot easier to use, a lot more user-friendly, yeah.
And as we're scrolling down this, Justin, I can see that the guys have really got into the whole idea of, okay, if we're going to do like dungeon things, let's have lots of different...
The dungeon one was actually their first Kickstarter.
Yeah, but exactly. But it proves to this whole thing of... Hold on, you're scrolling past everything. Sorry. Don't scroll past, I want to see it all. But it proves this idea that that with 3D you can rapidly produce things. Okay, I want a different option. I want these incidental pieces. Because you're asking about lamps and things like that. Most manufacturers be like, I can't make a lamp.
Yeah.
I'll never get my money back for making a lamp. Yeah. But certainly a company like this can design up a lamp. Yeah. It's not only really going to cost design time. Yeah. Which is still, expensive and whatnot. But they're not tooling up or anything for it, and they're not doing any distro. So it opens up the possibilities of having all sorts of different terrain items that we'd never have before.
And here's the best bit. I will never run out of that one critical component. That one bit. See, I love using this one component to make certain turns and stuff in my corridors and stuff, and I keep using at it. Yeah. I'm never going to run out with it with this, because I can just print more.
Apart from your plastic spool, when you go to the printer and go, crap.
Come on.
Damn me for jinxing myself on the weekender. I'm never going to run out of this stuff. Where the hell is all my plastic?
Yeah, you can sort of tell whenever you're running low on your spools and stuff, and you can bring more in and have it sitting there waiting. It's the same as having a block of paper for your printer.
But you can also print in all sorts of weird materials now, right? For example, you can print in carbon fiber.
What?
Yeah, so you can print stuff that's sort of metally. You can print sort of a wood texture, so it's like mashed up wood put into a plastic, and it prints it, and it looks and smells
MDF.
It looks and smells a bit like MDF.
You can print MDF.
I've seen people printing like wooden phone cases and things like this.
Right.
Which just is weird.
Yeah.
One of the things that was really interesting to me is thinking about this in terms of scales of wargaming as well, because if you're the kind of person who loves playing at the sort of 6mm, 10mm, 15mm scale, you can make a hell of a lot of terrain out of 3D printing and this kind of thing now, because those files... you can make huge buildings and all sorts of different things like that, and they're very, very cheap, I'd imagine, probably.
That's an absolute key point you've just hit there, Ben. Yeah. Is because if we're thinking about 28mm and stuff, big buildings, but if you're into your 15 and 10mm, you're laughing all the way with this.
Yeah, you can go nuts with this.
Because you put something out and 45 minutes later, you've got a building. Yeah. Whereas if you're going 28mm, it's a few hours later before you get any sort of building out of it.
Well, you maybe have to do it in stages where you print one set of walls on the floor, next set of walls on the floor, then the roof and stuff like that.
Yeah, whereas if you're printing 15mm terrain, let's say, You could print a whole building essentially in one print.
Pretty much,
because most people's beds aren't particularly big.
Yeah, but even
But your average size bed, you could maybe put like 3 or 4 buildings on it.
You could maybe get a half dozen buildings on the go at the same time. Just set it to go in the morning whenever you sit down and just let it run.
Cool stuff.
It's one of those things. 3D printing
We're in the future.
It is the way of the future. But I was talking to one of our mates today, and he had never heard of a 3D printer before, and it was just like, "What's this thing you've got on the table there?" "Oh, that's a 3D printer." "It's a 3D printer." "Oh, it's a thing that I can make a 3D object from nothing. It'll just print it out." And he was just like, "Hi."
This is the guy who runs the chip shop.
Yeah, he was just like, huh, "What? How?
Dustin.
What black sorcery is this?"
Justin's mate runs the chip shop. So every time we go into it, I'll order something and get charged £8. He'll order something and it'll be like $3.50, and I'm looking at, how did that work? How did that work? I bet you didn't tell
Being
him.
friends with chefs is good for you.
Did you tell him which 3D printer was your favourite?
No.
The one that prints food.
Oh yeah, I told him about the one that prints pizzas.
Yeah.
And he was just like, "Ah."
Even my job's not safe, printing pizzas.
That was hilarious.
Yeah. Anyway, exciting times.
Yes.
Looking forward to seeing more 3D printing. Get a mess out of myself and stuff.
If you've been thinking about getting into 3D printing, because this will give you a nice set of stuff to work with to actually get yourself testing.
There's about 8 days left on that, Ben, I believe.
Yep.
So Ben, moving on. Haven't you another Kickstarter for us to talk about?
Yeah, so the next one is a pretty massive one. Another one from Cool Mini on Art, or CMON, if you want to go by their acronym. It's also got the sculpting talent of Studio McVeigh and Guillotine Games, who people will know from Zombicide behind it as well. This is the new massive game by Eric Lang, which is called Rising Sun, and it is effectively his almost a little bit of a love letter, a little bit of an evolution of Diplomacy, which was a massive, huge grand strategy game for the tabletop. And this is all going to be set. This is all set in a sort of fantasy Oriental Japanese world. It's for 3 to 5 players, and you take on the roles of these different clans who all have their own different abilities and their own different skills. And you're vying for dominance over this huge board of Japan with your amazing looking miniatures. It looks absolutely fantastic, and one of those games that's really sort of making that 4X style game a little bit more accessible for people.
We're looking at Onis at the minute. Big Onis look class.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've done some absolutely fantastic stuff with this game, and looking through a lot of the mechanics and things, it seems like it's quite a simple game to get into. There's only a certain amount of actions you take per turn. All of them are very, very simple. You can recruit new units and things. You can marshal forces, train them and stuff, so you can buy upgrades. You can harvest and get resources together. But the main thing that really was sort of drawing me to this game was the fact that allegiances and alliances are very, very tied into the mechanics of the game. Now, there are a lot of games out there where allegiances and making deals with people is almost one of those things where it's not quite binding, and people sort of stab each other in the back, and it means that effectively they don't really mean anything. But in this game, your allegiances that you make with alliances that you make with other players are key to strategy, because what you do and what your ally do directly benefit each other, and there's sort of like this mutual respect between the two clans as you're going forward. That doesn't mean you can't break alliances and form them with other players and stuff, but if you ever betray your enemy as well, then that factors into the game mechanics too. And so you have this sort of dishonor system that's worked into things. Those Oni that you were looking at there, those demons, they'll work for you if you're a little bit more dishonorable. So if you want to go down that route and be a bit more of a backstabber, a bit more of a sort of underhand daimyo, for example, you might get the strength of the Oni on your side and be a bit more warlike instead of the sort of a bit more diplomatic side from some of the other clans at the table. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how it all comes together.
Absolutely. I'm interested in seeing it as well. I know there's a gameplay video up there from Cool Mini or Not. Can we get a look at the map, Justin?
Yeah, I think it's like right up the top. I'll have to go again.
One of the things I enjoyed about Total War, we had a gameplay for Warhammer Total War went on the website during the week. Mm-hmm. Now, one of the bits I loved was the meta map in Shogun Total War.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at this thinking, this could tickle me. This particular fighting over the Oriental style map with the Oriental style miniatures. I mean, what is it with Oriental stuff? How many years did I bang on about building an Oriental style army?
Well, you see what this was? It was because you kept talking about it for so long. People were like, we need to do something to make Lloyd feel better about stuff.
Karma.
And then all of a sudden, bang, Oriental stuff, bang, Oriental stuff. It's just all popping up out of... As soon as I get interested in Saga, everyone releases their Oriental stuff.
See, here's the kicker for me, Lloyd. You love Oriental designed armies, yet and Bill, you don't like anime. Why?
It's not the same thing.
But it's from the east.
It's not historical
same
enough.
thing.
That's the thing, man.
Giant enemy crabs don't interest me. Giant enemy
Not every
onis.
enemy has a giant enemy crab. Guys.
Giant enemy onis do. I know what you're
Giant
saying.
enemy onis.
I know what you're saying, but it isn't the same.
I suppose it's not for everybody.
It just isn't the same. But I'm excited about this. I was excited about that other Kickstarter we were looking at a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I'm gonna definitely check this out. Give the gameplay stuff a watch.
Mm-hmm.
It's already completely bust through what the previous campaign Blood Rage did. It's through $1 million pretty easily. They've unlocked a lot of different stretch goals, so you've got plenty of interesting bits and pieces for you to pick up. So there's new monsters, new character types, some alternative sculpts for a lot of the armies, so they won't all look the same and things on the tabletop. One of the big things as well is that this effectively just has one pledge level.
They've got a Godzilla type thing.
Yes, yep, loads of crazy stuff.
That's a Daikaiju.
Yeah, a Godzilla type thing.
Kaiju.
I'm going to drive Justin Batty with all this. Oh, look, there is the gameplay video. We just scrolled past it. So if you're interested in knowing how it plays,
yeah, it's on the Kickstarter page for you.
That's the video to go and watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I was saying, guys, one pledge level, just get stuck in at that. You pledge at that, and you get everything in that stretch goal list, as well as the Kickstarter exclusive miniature as well, which is a cool Phoenix model. So if this does take your fancy, and I'm pretty sure it's going to take a lot of people's fancy, you should pick this up. I know a lot of people already on our website have been saying that they're just going to pick it up simply for the models, and I wouldn't blame them for that. So yeah, very, very cool indeed. Yeah.
Another panda. What is it with these vicious pandas?
What, you don't like pandemonium?
Look at this. Oh my god. What a terrible joke.
Every pun is awesome. You just have to believe it. So.
Every pun is awesome. If you say so, Justin. Anyway, there's 20 days left approximately on that, isn't there?
Yeah, ish. I think it's like 23.
So don't say you haven't been notified about a cool Kickstarter there. Anyway, I think that's going to wrap us up because we've got another show coming at you on the Sunday. If you've enjoyed this, come along to Beasts of War, become a backstager, and you can check out the Sunday show along with a lot more content. It isn't just a Sunday XLBS. The whole backstage thing is for.
No. Also, the other thing is for the boot camps and stuff, backstagers get the first bite at it. We have tons of paint tutorials. A lot of our weekly shows have backstage episodes where we go into more advanced tactics and stuff. And we have a 7-day free trial up and running. So if you're curious, you can come across, try it out for 7 days. And, decide if you want to join our little family on the internet.
Absolutely. And if you're interested in that RuneWars stuff, I believe there's like a couple of tickets left.
Yeah.
Go and nab them before someone else does, and we will see you guys tomorrow.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now, and be sure to check out beastsofwar.com for the latest gaming news and gaming Let's Plays. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe, and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.